Annika, good morning to you. Yes, it is still morning. Talk to us about these revelations that our president will be meeting the public protector, Busisiwe Mkhewbane.
Yes, we have very solid information that the president, just hours after jetting in from India on that state visit, is set to meet later today with the public protector, Busisiwe Mkhewbane. And this follows a DA request for a full-scale investigation by the public protector into the president's possible dealings with Bosasa. If you remember, in November last year, there was a question and answer session in which the president was asked about a donation from Bosasa, and the president at the time appeared to be caught off guard and said that his son, Andile, had done some consulting work for African Global Operations, which is now what Bosasa is called. That then changed later the following day when he said that, in fact, his party, the ANC, had received 500,000 rand towards his presidential party election campaign. And in Davos just a few days ago in Switzerland, he told ENCA that he himself had volunteered to go and have a meeting with the public protector. Let's throw forward to that bite.
We should not make a big issue about this, storm in a teacup, or and make it as though there's big corruption in terms of what I've done. There is none. And I'm going to explain it to the public protector.
So the president sounding like a very confident man, Annika, that he knows his story well and that he'll have no problems detailing what actually happened before the public protector. So talk to us about these IEC figures. Of course, last weekend was the last voter registration drive. Over 70% of South Africans are now registered and eligible to vote. Apparently, this is the highest number by world standards.
That's right. It's very high by international standards, by those countries where you're not legally compelled to vote, such as in Australia. There's also been a very high youth registration, and the IEC says that the youth really have rallied amongst themselves. They started a campaign with youth leaders to go out there and speak to people under 30 to make sure that they registered to vote, but they've almost rallied them amongst themselves and through social media have compelled one another to vote. So a very high registration turnout from under 30s, probably the highest in a very long time. 2.5 million people came to register for the last voter registration weekend just a few days ago. And just the IEC saying that there still will be a chance to register if you go to their offices. But this really was probably the last weekend before the president makes a proclamation on what day the elections will actually be, which will be, that announcement will be made in the next few days, we are guessing in February. And then just some of the numbers: 1.1 new voters, 52% women. So political parties out there, you really should be paying more attention to women, just word from me. And 48% are men, and half of those new voters are younger than 30. So very good numbers for the youth turnout. KwaZulu-Natal had the highest amount of new registered voters, followed by Gauteng, and the highest number of voters are in Gauteng, followed by KZN, then the Eastern Cape, and then the Western Cape.
Annika, before I let you go, I've got to take you back to the whole Bosasa issue and, of course, the president's involvement here. Breathtaking testimony given by Angelo Agrizzi in the last sort of week and a half, if you like. The president surely has got to have, I'm not sure if you posed the question to him in Switzerland about whether or not this 500,000 rand has been paid back to Bosasa, this donation, given the kind of stuff that went around at Bosasa. It's actually unbelievable.
That's right. I'm glad you're taking me back, Polly, because I did ask the President directly whether that 500,000 rand has been paid back by his ANC election campaign. He confirmed to us for the first time, yes, he says it has been paid back to what Bosasa is now called, which is African Global Operations. But remember that Bosasa, there is some confusion because remember the President said in that question and answer that he'd actually seen a receipt or a contract between his son Andile and Bosasa. What has happened to that? Bosasa saying that there was no work done by Andile Ramaphosa at all, so that needs to be sorted out. And remember that the EFF here is saying that it'll cause massive chaos and disruption if the President doesn't take the country into its confidence by either telling the country how many Bosasa contracts are still operational and are still live, how many have been cancelled, and exactly how much money has been taken by the party, or if not by the party, then the Ramaphosa family from Bosasa. If they do not, the EFF is threatening to completely disrupt the State of the Nation address, which is due to take place next week. So I presume that the President is going to go to the Public Protector today. He has not been summoned. He has voluntarily gone because of this investigation, and his modus operandi seems to be to play open cards so that he cannot be cornered or caught ahead of this vital election time.
Yeah, no, the President has got to clear the air here, Annika. Thank you very much for that update. Annika Lyson, my colleague, coming to us live from Parliament.